All right, what is going on? Here we go. We are live. Hey, what's up, Ben? Good morning. Good to see you. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good to see you. I'm in a trade today, so I got some stuff to talk about today. I want to show you what I got going on here. Good to see everybody. Thank you for coming and showing up. Again, I really truly appreciate you so much as we try and kind of take this market alchemist trading systems and style to the next level. I really want to kind of show you all and change the way retail trading is really done. First off, we're going to be focusing a lot on futures. One of the great things about futures, in May, we're going to, according to CME, we're going to have single stock equity futures coming out, right? So when that happens, that's going to make AMD, Tesla, Microsoft, right? We're going to have futures available for many of these. So, and I think we're going to really enjoy that. So the feature that I'm playing today is I'm playing micro Bitcoin futures right now. So I went ahead and we had this really obvious level on micro Bitcoin that we spotted here, the high of 2 days ago. So, and I was really liking how that high lined up with just a bit of a sweep in the pre-market and a sell, and then we offered, it sold, and then we went into this area but couldn't close. So it seemed to be a really lovely spot to look for a short, and because we're in a lower, wider range, the expectation is to close back inside, and we opened in a perfect spot for an R6 short. So now micro Bitcoin is a slow trader, so it is a bit of a bear when it comes to that as far as how long it takes for this thing to trade sometimes. So I don't recommend trading it with a 1 minute chart. You can see here's what it looks like on a 1 minute. Very like sporadic, choppy price action. So I often use like a 3 minute or a 5 minute to trade this one, and it makes it a little bit more bearable because you can actually look at candles that are actually closed. Right. So, but as you can see right now, I risked high of day or high of the pre-market on this one. So, which was probably about 600 bucks. So, and I'm sitting up about 1200 right now on the position. So let's see how it goes. My the Getting into it was very easy. So it's plenty liquid because it's all futures. So it's CME algo. If you buy, it'll sell to you. So, right now, I actually have my full target for a full move across the range to ATR low, although I'd be quite happy with CP or R4 for that matter. So, but if this makes the full run, this could be a 10K trade, right? So we'll see how this one goes. We are under the open price and we have curved down, so I am getting pretty comfortable with. I think I if I get another movement lower through this bid, I think that'll be enough downside for me to feel comfortable to start trailing. So I'll go ahead and pull down on top of the open price, and if we come through the 20 and buy the open, then I'll get out. So I'm not quite ready to start trailing yet because I haven't seen that like that trending move, but yep. So, does everyone here follow the market Thor? Oh, wow, over 100 already. Hey, can you make sure to hit the thumbs up for me while you're here? Just, because we got like 43, right? So, but we got like 100 watching, but only 43 on the thing. So if you could just make sure you do that, just, I hope you don't mind that I remind you. It's kind of my job. right? So I will every so often shill for the likes. If I look at it and like if I see 100 people watching and I see like 100 likes, I'm not going to ask you for likes, right? So if you come in there and hit it right off the button, you won't have to hear this annoying speech every single day. And I want to keep making this really cool content for you all, and growing this channel, getting us out there. Make sure you're sharing, and make sure you're putting out there, because that'll help us grow. And if we can grow, then that's good, and that's both good for me and Dr. V. Dr. V is going to be coming to the channel starting on Wednesdays, I think in like a month. So you got to give a little bit of time because she's wrapping up some scholastic stuff. She is a doctor, right? So she's got to wrap up some other commitments, and then she will be. One of the reasons she wasn't on the channel on Wednesdays for a few days before all of this went down was actually because she was just so busy. So we will do that. So thank you so much for the likes. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. Please continue coming back daily. I will continue to make good content for you. Um, Speaking of good content, I do want to make you all aware that we are going to be putting out some uh, course style webinar stuff into the YouTube for everybody. We're working on it. I would expect to see it coming out in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you're subscribed, because I'm going to start order book reading stuff, how to use the cams. I'm going to start putting out webinars for everybody on these different stuff, but I'm going to break them into like 8 to 10 minute videos. Ooh, there we go. There's a nice seller on MBT. Dalton, you're with me, buddy? Let's do this, man. Natalie, I am no longer affiliated with Bearable Traders in any way. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it. So, hey, here we go. So remember that for me, I am here to educate you in all the ins and outs. That's great because I don't like them, and this is awesome. Natalie, can you just post that on all of your media? Oh, I'm so sorry. No. uh, so, yeah. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Look at that, everybody. We're getting some move. All right. So I definitely feel comfortable now. I'm going to go ahead and camp the open price. So this one's a winner, one way or the other, right? So either way, I'm going to make some money today, which is always amazing. So, the my target on this one is a range run. So I want to go all the way to the CP. So we have now lost VWAP for the first time in quite a while. Great volume here. And I mean, comparatively, it's good volume. It's really high sell volume. That's great. Thank you so much, everybody. Like, I really appreciate you all so much. Thank you. Just do the favor, just spread the word. Like, if you're really like liking the channel, please make sure to let your friends know. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of traders out there. So, I mean, and I really want to help so many of you learn how to make money, like really make good money as a retailer in the market without like all kinds of like wild stuff. Like, so much of what is out there on the way they're trying to teach you to trade, it just doesn't work. It's not possible. And I haven't been able to speak out very much about that because of my affiliations, obviously. So, but if you haven't noticed, like 8 years ago, I developed a completely different trading system that is nothing like any other member of the community that I was in. Right. So I was a paid member and followed, but he was a gambler who tries to sell everything. Yep. 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 Natalie, I'm not gonna say one thing or the other, but yeah, right? So it's the the issue is you are going to have an unreasonable expectation for how much money you are going to be able to make in the market, right? And what happens is this causes a lot of traders to come into the market that have like a $5,000 account or like a $10,000 account, and they think they're going to make like income replacement money with that account. Right, and then you are learning to trade by somebody who has a really large trading account and insinuates, or and I would say that there is a general insinuation that all of that money was made from trading, right? Not that it is being said, I'm just saying insinuated. So for me, for me, I don't insinuate crap. I tell you all the money in my trading account is definitely not all trading money that I made trading, right? Because I funded my account in the first place. And I've had multiple times where I've had extra money and I've put that money into my trading account to help boost my trading account. So like one thing you're never going to see me do is post a picture of my trading account's P&L and say, look how big my trading account is. Because you could actually, and this is something a lot of people don't know about furuing, you can actually, if I wanted to, I could have a job serving, right? And a really good restaurant where I'm making $300 or $400 a night. And then I could take the money I'm making there and I could deposit it every single day into my Interactive Brokers account and then pull my app open and show it to you. And it would show, hey, look, every day for 2 months, I have a $500 positive equity curve in my trading account. Wow. Right? Hey, what's up, Jay? How are you, bud? Good to see you. So and that happens. It's like you lose like a whole like it's like you show this account that's like so much money. Dalton, I now that I'm allowed to, I did throw it on there so one of the things I've noticed is I like my shorts to make sure that they're extended from VWAP when I'm entering them. And that really helps out a lot with these. So, but like now, for instance, like we're below VWAP. If we buy through VWAP in the 20, then I can go out on this thing. So that's what I've been using it for is kind of as long as I'm under it, I'm comfortable with holding basically, and we're selling a little bit more now. I'm not talking bad. For the record, I'm not talking bad. I don't think I don't, I'm just being super honest. Right, but I'm not talking bad, right? I like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? It's just it just is what it is, right? I can talk openly, right? Because the thing that's gonna happen, right, is what I'm really, really concerned with, and what I have been concerned with is everyone falling into the trap that I fell into, right? I blew up my first trading account and almost blew up my second one. Right, and I don't want you to have to do that, right? I don't want you to do that. So I'm gonna encourage you to do a lot of different things on this channel. One, I'm gonna encourage you to use funded brokers in the beginning, after sim, before exposing your real money, right? I'm also going to encourage you to really take the time that it takes to put in here, and then I'm gonna encourage you to have reasonable expectations from your account and your account size. I really thought when I came into trading like 8 years ago, 10 years, 9 years ago, 2017, however long ago that is, right? I really thought like I was gonna come in and in a relatively short period of time, I was going to make a really like insane amount of money. Now, I was lucky, right, that I live in Florida, so I don't have a lot of expenses, and I had, recently, I was in IT, I did pretty well, I had some money. Right, so and then while I was bored, I started getting a little low, so I started working I was just gonna say this, BZ. I started working Uber, like, before it was cool, and started driving an Uber car, and then got a Robinhood thing. I was so dumb at the beginning of my trading journey, everybody, right? I was so dumb in the beginning of my trading journey and so gullible that I literally thought that if you put rocket emojis into Robinhood, that that would actually result in the price going up, right? That's how far away I was, everybody, from all the grand knowledge that I have today. Hanging out on the nicey with market makers and doing all this stuff, man. I started off as country bumpkin and dumb on this is possible. Yeah. Hey, 150 concurrents. Thank you again, everybody. 2 days in a row, over 150 concurrents. I thank you so much for hanging out and thanks for staying. The longer you stay in the show, the better things do that. So I really appreciate that. Right. So I was really just kind of like, wow, like, there's this whole thing. And then I started, and then I came across momentum trading and I got pulled right into that whole idea bad. I'm still, you guys see I'm short Bitcoin, right? So while we're talking, I'm in a trade right now. So I want to show you the difference in the trading styles but that are available here, right? Like this is trading, right? I've been sitting in this trade all day. I got in about 3 or 4 minutes into the open, right? And I'm just hanging out here holding. Right. So what I'm starting to do now is we should not buy back through VWAP in the 20. So I'm now just trailing the 20. Right. So either way, no matter what happens, I'm going to make a pretty good amount of money on this trade today. Right. So no matter what happens, I'm going to make like a grand on this. Right. So, but if we can hit target, maybe it's a 10. We're going to try. We'll see what happens today. Right. So there's some good points there. I don't want to spend too much time talking about that, but some good points there on account side. So I'm just saying it's just not it's not genuine to show a large account and then insinuate that all of the money in that account is from trading. The reason why I say that's an insinuation is because you're posting it on your media. Oh, they bombed a nuclear plant in Iran. Oh, good lord. Um, I'm not really like a conflict person. I'm actually like I'm very libertarian. So I kind of believe in everybody being left alone to kind of do theirs and their own thing. So I can't really speak to all of that because I don't stay versed in the policies. But if possible, the only thing I'd like to do is just offer like good spirit and good thoughts to everybody that's involved in this, especially the people that are on the other side of the bomb. So that's really sad. So to hear that stuff like that's going on. So just we're sitting here in desks making money trading stocks and futures and there's real stuff going on. You know what I mean? So just like, maybe take 2 seconds and send some vibes. Someone out there is probably going through a whole lot and we're really blessed to be doing this together. Okay, so anyway, um, so um, uh, SMB is amazing. Okay. SMB is a proprietary trading firm and they are very rigid on how they trade and how they let their people trade. Right. I would never trade for a proprietary because I don't like trading other people's systems in that regard. Right. I think personally for traders, there you need to be within the structure of a system, but that system needs to be your own in a way. So I just think it's very I think it's very but I like SMB. Like, of the proprietaries out there, I have a lot of good things. I've actually had dinner with Bella, once, and, um, so he's really cool. He's a really cool guy. And, no one like, not that tape reading's, like, a huge thing. I don't really use tape reading, but, for scalpers and stuff, man, Bella, no one can tape read like that dude. Um, no, they use a great system. So, Glenn, I'm not really looking for a specific type of candle. I'm not a price action trader. I'm a range trader. All I'm looking for is for it to hit the cam and for me to read in the volume what I think to be like distribute in this instance, distributionary or a lack of buying, right? I need to see selling or not enough buying. But otherwise, it's just a range play for me. I don't need a candle patterning. Like right now, I'm actually watching this on a 5 minute chart. I normally trade off a 1 minute chart, right? So what I liked about it was that we sold up into the level and then we made a new 1 minute low. That was all I needed to get in. In there, stop, put in there. My stop went above the high right there, that high. And remember, my intraday trading style is more like swing trading than it is like day trading, right? So I'm a day trader because I trade during the daytime, right? So, but I'm not a momentum player. I'm not a scalper, right? I'm more of a swing trader. I'm going to get it, and my assumption here is that we're going to sell down somewhere to where the middle of the range because it's a wide range. So I'm expecting, and it's a lower range. So I'm expecting to close somewhere near yesterday's low by the end of the day. And that's it. That's all I'm doing all day, right? I'm in here at what is I mean, find me a higher price, people. You know what I mean? I'm in really close to the highest price of the day, right? And I'm holding for this all the way back down to here, right? I'm going back for 2 days ago, give back the last couple of days. But this is how you make money in retail trading. You can risk a few $100s, right? $500, $600 to make $3,000, $4,000, right? You don't have to risk $20,000 to make $1,000 or $2,000, right? A lower range means we closed lower yesterday than we did the day before Moonish. So it's all about 2 day pivot relationships, right? Why do ETFs sometimes not show signals when the futures do? For example, when futures trigger a CAM signal, ETFs don't always match it. Is it valid to trade the ETF on the future signal? It could be. I prefer to trade the instrument that I'm utilizing, but the futures do signal better because it's all algo driven, right? So the specialist in futures are algo, right? So it does work really nice. GP, you're so right. I do actually like the book One Good Trade a lot. However, you could have read the title and just put the book down, right? Because the book is the title, right? There's not really like there's not really like anything in the book that I took from overall trading per se, other than like the title, right? Which was a really important lesson, like that you're really just looking for one good trade, and then after you get that trade, you're going from one good trade to one good trade. But then I'm like, wait a minute, but that's like more than one good trade. And then I was broken, right? Then I was broken because he goes, well, you go from one good trade to one good trade to one good trade, and I'm like, well, isn't that three trades or like three really good trades? You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, and now I'm confused. And now I'm confused. You know what I mean? Like one good trade. Now this is 3 trades. So, but I love the idea. I love the idea or the principle because that's me actually. I love that. Like I'm taking one trade on MBT. This is going to be my only trade today. If this comes back through VWAP, rebuys the 20 and takes me out, I'll be done. That's my trade for the day. It bounced off of R4, came all the way back to R6. Like screw this noise. I really like the holding of this one though cuz I have a fun thing to talk about. Does everyone here know what the initial balance range stats are and what they're about? Anyone in here not I think this could be a fun thing to talk about. So a lot of the and then we can look at CRCL. So one of the things I really talk about with my system is built on statistics, right? It's not a system that's built on like 1 minute breaks or 5 minute whatevers, right? It's actually built on statistics, right? So one of the reasons I like the idea of holding longer is actually because of this statistic right here. So this website is called Edgeful. I do not currently have an affiliation as far as like an affiliate link, but I will work on one for the channel. But you can see here we have the IB range, and let me show it to you. Is so this kind of represents a stock chart. And this is your imagine this is the open, this is your high, and this is your low of your first hour of the day. That's your IB high and your IB low. So after 60 minutes, whatever your high of day is and your low of day is, that is your IB range. If you break one side of that range or another, sorry, I meant to show you here. Once you break that side, that's called a single break, right? A double break is when you break one side and then you go down and break the other side, right? So on this particular ticker, right? This ticker has a 75% chance that it's a single break, right? It's a 75% chance, only a 20.5% chance that it double breaks. Right? Yeah, yeah. It's the IBR indicators in trading view. If you're a member of the website, you can be a member of their community and get that indicator in there. I used to have it in there. I don't now, but so anyway, so you can see we have our high and our low of 1030, and we have broken that low. Right? So there's actually not a very high probability that we rally all the way through high of day. And since my entry is near high of day and my stop is above high of day, was above high of day, there's a very low probability that my stop gets run today. Right? So this is one of those ones you can leave on there, right? I don't have a losing trade to show you today. And I didn't have a losing trade yesterday. I had a winning trade yesterday. The day before that, I did not trade. So I think it would be Friday. I had a really nice trade. I think it was Thursday. I had a losing trade, but I don't have that available on me to show you. But it was a 1 hour loss. Oh yeah. I don't know how to find the ticker in Toss. I don't use Toss. I think it's a slash. And then it would probably be MBT J26 in Toss, if I recall. I haven't used Toss for a really long time. How much R do I average on a trade? Probably around 6 or 7 right now. Like I risked about 600. I don't have my maximum loss is $1,000 per trade, but on this particular trade, I only risked about 600. So I was up about 3R on this trade, but I'm going for, maybe 8R or 9R or something like that, but we'll see. I mean, I might only get like 1 or 2. If this buys back through the average, I'll get stopped out. All right, CRCL. Let's get this over here, and we'll come over here for CRCL. Oh, really nice R3 short. Why didn't we opened a little too high, I think, which is why we didn't call this one. But I love how it went into the cam and then re-offered it twice. Lower wide range, R3 short's beautiful. So play this short back across to the CP. That's lovely. Right now, it's offering to try and get more sellers. It oversold just a little. This is not. I would not expect this to be a reversal. We sold heavily, offered up, so we swept the high side first and then broke the lows. So I would think of this as more likely staying on this side. We're also in selling ranges on the month. That's nice. What a lovely sell from there. Hmm, fun. What percentage of my trade are losers? Mm, upwards of 50%. A little, I maybe a little more, a little less. I think on my lower performing months, my hit rate's probably more around 40%. On my higher performing months, it probably sits more around 70%. So this is a lower performing month. So, but I've had it's a lower performing month as far as number of trades taken, but it's a really high performing month as far as quality of the trades I've taken. So I think, because it's the 25th, I think I've only taken 10 trades this month, but of those 10 trades, I think I've only lost 2 of them, and the 8 that I took all were really big winners. Um, I don't so I just, I really like this topic. Sorry. Fair value, fair value gaps are awesome. I think it is great to incorporate them. I don't, just because it's not necessary for me. But I love the idea of using cams and then incorporating your either the moving average you like or some other system into it as far as how you do it. You know what I mean? So, why do I think a momentum strategy like Andrew's is not a good idea for new traders? Okay, there are a couple of reasons. Most of them are, however, I'm going to be more general. I personally do not believe that a momentum strategy like Andrew's works for any trader with an account that is under 100 grand to maybe even $1 million. I'm not entirely convinced that Andrew's momentum style works for Andrew. So, but I don't know one way or the other to really say that. But I can say that I do not believe it is viable, and I only say that because that was my experience and my truth coming through learning that strategy and the pitfalls of them. I don't think it's just new traders. I do not believe I, as a very seasoned trader, could make money consistently with that system. The reason why, and I'm just going to lead you for just a moment. And thank you again for the likes, everybody, and everyone hanging out with me. 160 concurrents right now. You're amazing. I appreciate you so much. I'm not going to BS you. Like that, you can come here, come to this channel. I've gone through all the BS that retail traders are ever going to go through. Like I'll let you know. Like it's fine. Like I'm making great. Like, look, I'm up 2 grand in a position to pay my bills. Like we're fine. Like it's I just let's just do some basic math here, okay? What is I personally believe the 1% rule is a really generous rule, right? So let's make let's say you have a $100,000 account. What is 1% of $100,000? What, yeah, right? Help me out here. Math with me, people. It helps the engagements too for you to do it with me. It's a grand. 1 grand. Okay. So if you have $100,000, 1% of that account is 1 grand. So conceivably, if you're going to have losing trades and winning trades, right? If you're going to have losing trades and winning trades, you don't want to risk 1% of your account, right? You want to probably risk a quarter of a percent of your account to make around a percent of your account, ideally average per day. And I think that would be an amazing stat. So you have a $30,000 account. What is 1% of a $30,000 account? $300, right? $300. So when I came into trading, and this is my own misinformation, I blame no one but myself, right? Yeah, but risking 1% to 3% doesn't make sense, right? Because if you risk 1% of your account and you have a $30,000 account, you're going to have dilution, right? Or attrition, right? If you go on a 10-day losing streak, you're going to lose 10% of your account. That's not realistic, right? You actually should be only risking around like a quarter of your percent of your account to make upwards of a percent of your account a day, right? And that's it, right? And that's it. Now, Andrew or other large gurus, Matt Has Money, there's lots of people out there. They will show you a 16 grand trade or or 15 grand trade, 10 grand trade. If you have a $10 million account, Canadian, and what is 1% of $10 million? This one's the 100K, right? So so you're expecting to make 1% on your account, but for someone with a 10 million account, right? They're really only needing to make like maybe 0.2% or 0.1%, the kind of money that would be dream money for you. You know what I mean? So what happens in order to do that is you actually have a relatively interesting version of the martingale strategy is what ends up coming into play, right? No, his account can't be tied up in longer term investments if it well, I mean, he wouldn't be able to use it to it would you wouldn't be able to use the buying power. So I mean, if it is, then it is. right? But what ends up happening is you basically end up with a version of the martingale. This is why losses will be very big, right? You can always tell someone who over leverages by how big their losses are when they lose, right? They make 5,000, they make like 10,000, 15,000. I don't know his portfolio. I really don't care. 10,000, 15,000. But then when there's a loss, it's 50,000, 60,000. It's a really big loss. Right, and that's kinda how you get an idea that this person's really over leveraging to make the money that they're making. Now, I will never talk crap about, and I'm gonna come back just in case someone's, like, listening to this and thinking I'm just sitting here talking shit about him. I'm really not. Like, there's nobody who is a bigger fan of Andrew Aziz than me. I really believe in the guy. I think he is a unique talent. I think he's a great businessman, and I think he's a fairly genuine human being for the most part. I'm really not into the way, like, things between him and I went, from his end of things, not from my end of things. I'm fine, but I just it just is what it is. But I'm not gonna dog the dude as a traitor. The dude's a baller. He's inspirational. He does really good, and I wish him and that community the best. I always will. When I'm not in the community, I can be significantly more open about how I don't believe the vast majority of the strategies within that community function. I don't believe of high of day plays. I think it's a horrible idea. I don't believe in like 85% of what's going on in there trading wise. Other than the material Dr. V and I were doing, I actually didn't really believe in a lot of it, which I think works out really well for us here. So I have no idea, AB. I can't speak on it. I can say that of everyone that's there, I have a lot of respect for a lot of them. Like Megan is beautiful. Like she is the most amazing person. Brian Pesum is one of my favorite people in the whole world. I hung out with him in Vegas. Whenever him and I trade together, we always make money. Like I really miss that part of BBT. Gary L is an up and coming guy. Gary L's a real talent. I mean, they got great people. My buddy Nathan. I mean, Nathan's my Padawan, and he's still over there. He kicks ass. I mean, it's an insanely good community, right? It's just not it's just not my thing, right? And I don't really actually believe in it. Like Nathan trades my style, right? Which is why Nathan gets like really massive payouts. Um, I took gold the other day and I wasn't sure the difference between April and June. So, which month, Zoe? Whenever I'm trading contracts, we trade the front month. So it's whatever. Do you know why they cut out the average Joe trader? I actually do know that. The answer to that. So please like just don't like, I love BBT. I can definitely bring you in on some of the market, some of the lore. So average Joe trader, I can't speak too much about it, but basically what happened with average Joe, and I think it was a good decision on Andrew's behalf, actually, when he severed that relationship. He went under lawsuit because of a shared fund that he had with members of his other community. I don't know why, how, the nature behind it, or any of that stuff, but I do know it was very suspicious, and it had some negative stuff about it. So it was just since he was so new to the community at the time, I think it just kind of like salted the water a little bit. You know what I mean? And it just like didn't work out. So I never looked too deep into it. I remember when I hung out with the dude, he was a really nice guy. But the situation itself, I think was pretty sus. So El Patron, are equity or futures? I really think like equity, not a lot. One of them is actually trade the pool would probably be the one I would say off the top of my head, El Patron, that comes into mind. I have a few people that I work with that use trade the pool, and they seem to be really nice. It's a funded equity. Well, I have live trades on right now, right here. I showed it at the beginning. I just take it off the screen so I don't have to stare at it while we're talking, so I don't get distracted. But I'm in a trade right now. I'm in micro Bitcoin short. I've been in since about 3 or 4 minutes into the open, and I'm probably just going to end up holding this position all day. Hey, so good to see you. Thank you again for the thumbs up. Paris is a lovely guy. I like Paris. I don't really believe in his trading style that much, but I really like him as a man. Like he's a really nice guy. I think he's a great trader too, and I think he has good trades. I just think he could make a couple of adjustments and make a significantly larger amount of money. I would actually love to help him with his trading. Uh, no, yeah, Paris's partialing triggers me at the deepest levels of my core. Yeah, yeah, that's very true too. As I understand it, my videos that have all were up at the other locations are all gonna disappear very soon, because it would seem that, washing my content is also the plan, so which I'm great with. So, I'm gonna be recording some new webinars for everybody, as well as, releasing some of my other ones. I'm gonna actually release to the YouTube channel for everybody, so a good reason to subscribe and be ready. If they're gonna, it's gonna be hours worth of material on book reading, cams, trade management, like all kinds of stuff. So, so I think you'll really enjoy it. Oh, y'all are great. What a good day. So 48 minutes into this thing, we're still sitting here. I got a live trade on for you all. I mean, so we've got some live trading, some live education, um, all kinds of stuff. I am happy to support any trading style that you have and answer any questions than you want. Right? Oh yeah, there's lots of Dr. V videos that are going to come out too. And no, she is not. Dr. V and I are co-founders of Market Alchemists. So all if you want to work with me, if you want to work with Dr. V, there's only going to be one place to do that now. You can't. Neither of us are going to be working with Peak Capital or with Bearable Traders. We're alchemists for life. Let's do this. Right? So www.marketalchemist.org is our website if you wanna go by and check things out. You can also go to my Instagram or my X. I've got all of our links up there. We every single morning, we have live trading inside of our community. Right? So, it starts at 8:30 in the morning. Dr. V runs the 8:30 to 9:30 every morning, but Thursdays, and does all of the longer time frame analysis, does psychological work, talk works with us, make sure we're in the right mindset before we start trading to the day, gives us our morning pep talk. And then I take over at 9:30 and I do live trading all the way up until basically this YouTube starts, right? So and I trade with all the people in there. So I have double the live viewers that BBT does right now. That's no way. Um, so we're That's funny. So that's where the real value is inside of that. No, I normally trade off the 1-minute chart, but I'm trading micro Bitcoin, which you will see on a 1-minute chart looks absolutely atrocious. So in order to stomach sitting in this ticker, I had to move it to a 5-minute chart so it looks halfway normal. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, come on, hang out with me. We're gonna have so Dr. V's content is gonna also be coming to the channel, right? So we're trying to build a new this is it's a changing of the guard. You know what I mean? It's time that real retail trading comes to the surface, like viable trading where you can make some real money. But not like crazy risky, like no more you're one bad trade away from like ruining your lives or your account forever. Like we're not here to be dramatic. We're not here to be like shocking. We're just here to be real, authentic, right? And that's what I want you to get from this channel, just pure and total authenticity at all times, right? So I want to show you how, especially using futures, right? But with equities, it's a little more challenging, but especially because the leverage difference. But it can be done with equities. But I want to show you how you can without anxiety, like safely, with really good risk management, take take regular trades and have a reasonable expectation for a reasonable amount of money, 5% of your account daily, 1% of your account daily, and then work on scaling your account, right? Get your account bigger, whatever that means, right? You need, like, one of the things I'm not going to crap on is that it doesn't matter if you have to get in a side hustle so that you can put money into your account. Just don't claim that the money in your account's from trading, right? Say like mine, the money in my account, it's not all from trading. Guess what? News is out. A lot of it's from trading, right? But I had my initial seed money. I also had a really decent year doing some mentoring stuff. I do offer one-to-ones, by the way. You just go to I have a calendar listed on our website or through my Instagram at Thor Young MA. You can go there. So I can't wait for the equity futures. I have no idea what really happened with Pierre. I love Pierre, but he just kind of seemed to disappear. For the record, there is some like bot stuff going on. I mean, I don't know it directly, but it's just so weird. The Avi thing is an interesting story. But Avi seems to be doing pretty well. I it, it's just I don't know how to say this because I like telling you this stuff, but I don't want to tell you like as if like this is like bad. I really think that in the trading world, this is just something that happens. Like, remember, like BBT was Vancouver traders, but before that, they were members of other communities, right? They just then grew, right? And then when they grew, there's just only so much space under one roof for so many like styles and personalities. So once someone gets to kind of a certain level, stylistically or personality wise, it just kind of like comes off. Like I'm personally like not like I thought Avi's trading style that he was doing back then was insanely dangerous. It made me very nervous to see people. trading options, 0 DTE in that fashion. But since then, I think he's actually moved to trading more futures. So and stuff like that, and I think he's kind of doing it a little bit different. So I mean, maybe, but I'm really not too focused on other people's stuff anymore. I'm just hyper focused on like for the cam indicator that we have right now. We have a study going on right now that Bruz is running, where we're actually going back through and we're comparing every single cam in history to the different calculation methods to find which cam works with which calculation the most often. Right? Our intention is at some point when if you have Thor mode enabled, when you click on the ticker, it's going to have a register of which calculation is the calculation it should use, and it will automatically calculate using that calculation. Right, so, like, we're not even, like, blanket just picking cams based upon random calcs. We're actually looking back across time and doing this so we can return, like, I don't wanna sell, like, 400 different things that'll, like, give you an idea of, like, random junk. I just wanna give you an indicator that really kicks butt. So, if you wanna hang out with Doctor V in the morning, just go to my Instagram. There's a sign up link there, or go to marketalchemists.org. So you can go to www.market. Oh, I can post links now. I keep forgetting. Org, right? Or hold on, I'll just get it for you. If you want to hang with us in the mornings, the right mentor certainly can help. Dan. So you've been training for a year, learned the basics, 100 a month for the 3 month, 100 consistent $100 a month for 300 months, trading with $700 account. I mean, I definitely think a mentor would help a lot. I would just think like, so your risk is obviously insanely small, right? Because you're doing like 100 a month. No, no free trials. The YouTube channel's the free trial, right? Like the what you're getting here, this is a sample on a very small scale. Dr. V is going to come by here on Wednesday soon too. But this is the free trial. You come here. If you like what you're seeing here, you're going to just get better and more there and in the mornings while we're live trading. Right. But we're doing fine. We've got quite a few people, and I'm just really not worried about shilling out like that. Like, come check it out if you're into it. If you're not, it's okay. Like, you just hang out with me here. I want lots of likes and follows here. So it's cool. Oh, speaking of, make sure you liked and subscribed and all that. BS does work on the daily. So yeah, so for me, here's the thing, Dan. If you have consistent performance over a long period of time, right? I only talk about BBT when I'm asked directly and in a positive light as possible on all of it. So since I was a member recently, we're gonna have people that are gonna ask about it, and I don't want to seem like I'm not okay with talking about it. So, I'm not entirely sure, Dan. I mean, you could always try, and then if it doesn't, if it doesn't work, then you don't have to stay. So, yeah, I hear you, Jose. I hear you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, brother, and thank you for being a part of this whole thing. Like, you're amazing. So, where did we go? I would, for me, the main thing is if you have consistency and you're moving in the right direction, Dan, you may want to just start look at some basic scaling, right? Like give yourself permission, like at this point, because you've been so consistent for a while, just to say, hey, if I'm risking $5 a trade every time I go X number of trades without any issues. Nice, Mark. So excited. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate you. Looking forward to being a part of your trading journey. Then like every so many trades you go through, then you can like bump a notch. You know what I mean? So, and then, just go up like a couple bucks a trade, $5 here. You would be amazed at if you just increase by a small margin once a month, how fast that's going to increase things. So I really appreciate you, everybody. Friday, I am going to do a drawing for a giveaway. And I'm going to give away a free mentoring session with me. So I will so for a one-on-one. So it'll be a one-on-one session that I'm going to give away. So make sure you're back here Friday. Maybe I accidentally give it away tomorrow. Nobody knows. So you might want to make sure you're here tomorrow too. I love you all so much. Thank you for coming by, supporting me, and being a part of this like transition into this like cool community. Yep, I respond to all the DMs on Discord all the time. It's my number one thing. And since now Market Alchemist is my only gig, I'm super focused on it. So I love you all. Have a great one. And I will talk to you and see you tomorrow at 11. Keep it green, everybody.